Year-old Prince Philip recovering after a car accident. We'll tell you what we've learned.
Find out how fans are supporting Mike, the Situation Sorrentino, while he's in prison.
Also today, Ariana Grande's new single has dropped. Find out which cameo in the music video is her favorite.
Molly Ringwald tells us about her time on set with the Riverdale cast, plus all about playing a mom in her new movie.
Plus, internet star Case Walker's here. He has a hilarious new series on Comedy Central. We are loving it.
We're diving into all of it live today on People Now.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to People Now. Happy Friday.
I know. I love a good Friday.
I know, right? What better way to kick the whole thing off? We got the brand new single from Ariana Grande. The pop star dropped 7 Rings on Thursday night. We can't stop listening to it. We've had it on all morning.
Definitely a bop. But here's the real question. Is buying 7 rings too much? What do you think? Or is it the more bling, the better?
Or if you got the money,
yeah,
who cares?
maybe you feel like no one needs that much, or plain and simple, Ari can do whatever she wants. So vote in our People poll, or just tweet us your answer with the hashtag PeopleNow.
All right, we'll get to your results in just a little bit, but for now, here's what you need to know and what's trending for your Friday. Prince Philip was reportedly involved in a car accident on Thursday near his royal estate in Norfolk. Don't worry though, guys. According to eyewitnesses, the 97-year-old who was married to Queen Elizabeth was seemingly uninjured and was able to walk away from that crash. Now, eyewitness accounts say Philip overturned his Land Rover after it collided with a Kia being driven by a 28-year-old woman with her 9-month-old baby in the back seat. Police say the mother suffered cuts to her knee while a 45-year-old passenger broke her wrist. The baby was uninjured. A bystander helped Philip out of the car and said the royal was, quote, obviously shaken, but wanted to make sure everyone else was all right. Now, the Duke was then taken to Sandringham House, where he has been staying with the Queen Elizabeth since before Christmas. As for the 97-year-old's future with driving himself on public and private roads, according to friend and biographer Gilles Brandreth, Philip is, quote, a pragmatist and a realist, and he says, I'm sure he will accept that while possibly muttering under his breath. So maybe it's something he would do, but he wouldn't be happy about it. He also admits that it would probably be frustrating for Philip to give up his driving. We'll have more on those eyewitness accounts of the accident later on in the show. Stay tuned for that. For now, we move on to Mike, the Situation Sorrentino. He's doing great in prison, according to his wife, Lauren Pesci. The Jersey Shore star reported to prison on Tuesday to begin serving an 8-month sentence. It's for tax evasion. He's already received an overwhelming amount of support from fans, including thousands of letters that have already been sent to him in jail. In 2 tweets shared on Thursday, Lauren confirmed all of that mail and thanked fans for the, quote, unbelievable outpouring of love and support. Now, she added that while Mike would not be able to respond to everyone, he wanted to express his gratitude. Lauren also noted that the newlyweds, who tied the knot in November 2018, less than 3 months before his prison sentence began, are talking to each other every single day. Now, a day before Mike reported to the Otisville Federal Correctional Institution in Otisville, New York, he shared the facility's mailing address on Twitter. He also took some inspiration from Goodfellas before going to jail. He shared a kind of a lighthearted tweet on Tuesday, a gif of Ray Liotta saying, now take me to jail. That's my best Ray Liotta. Mike captioned the tweet saying, quote, the comeback is always greater than the setback. He's got a positive attitude about the whole thing leading in here. Speaking of situations, Provo Canyon, Utah was shaken up on Thursday night when an avalanche dumped 30 feet of snow on a major highway there. Well, thankfully, no people or vehicles got caught in the snowy disaster, but the Utah Highway Patrol reports that the snow covered all lanes and will take hours to clean up. Now, that avalanche was caused by Thursday night's storm that officials call one of the biggest that they've seen in recent years. According to the Utah Department of Transportation Public Information Officer John Gleason, the snow clearing crew will be working all night and probably for the next 24 hours or so to clean the whole thing up. Of course, we're happy to hear that no people and no vehicles were harmed in the avalanche in Utah, but unfortunately, that snow, it is making its way to the northeast this weekend, Andrea. There's a lot in the forecast here as the storm kind of moves across.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first big storm of 2019. So the northeast could be in for 40 inches of snow, which is a lot. People are obviously a little stressed if it's your travel plans this weekend and everything.
According to our weather center, the storm may be moving to the mid-Atlantic states, making its way from the west, dozens of inches
Jeremy,
expected. But this is very serious.
Daily life.
No, it does. Like Pennsylvania, upstate New York, New England, they're saying that it could start light. We actually saw some snow this morning. I was walking the girls to school. It's very cold. The thing about it, the rain's going to mix in. Because it's so cold, that rain turns to ice on the roads. It's really hazardous, can be very dangerous by Saturday and Sunday for people in those areas.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if New York City is going to get really as much. I'm excited for a little bit of snow because it's been so cold.
Yeah.
I figure you might as well have some snow.
Yeah, right. No, it's kind of for me, it helps me out of that seasonal depression.
Yeah,
just to have some nice snow.
Because it's pretty. But we do need to remind our northeastern friends to stay inside, be safe. For everyone hoping to go out of town for Martin Luther King Day weekend, you might just be looking at a change of plans.
Well, this kind of weather, it brings about lots of flight cancellations, road closures. Obviously, those freezing cold temperatures, certain areas are going to hit single digits this weekend. So look, bundle up, stay safe. If you can get out to enjoy it, but be safe the whole time. Drink a cup of cocoa.
Maybe some,
bundle up a bit, watch some
drink a little
movies.
bourbon or something. Unless you're doing dry
Explore.
January, which apparently I'm doing, so I won't
Oh,
be
is
doing
that a new thing? Maybe you should do it
That's
after
not a
the
new
storm.
thing? Dry January? Everyone does that.
Kind of late here. Anyway, calling all chicken nuggets fans, just when if you were thinking about having chicken nuggets in the snow, maybe think again, because Purdue Foods has recalled nearly 70,000 pounds of chicken nuggets, get this, for fear of wood contamination.
Weird.
Wood. The gluten-free nuggets in question were produced on October 25th, 2018, the same expiration date in 2019. Unfortunately, these were not isolated to one region, but distributed across America, apparently. That's according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food Safety and Inspection Service. That service said in a statement, the problem was first discovered when the firm received 3 consumer complaints that wood was found in the product. Now, in a statement on Purdue's website, the company says there have been no reports of injury associated with the product. Jeff Shaw, he's Purdue's vice president for quality assurance. He adds, after a thorough investigation, we strongly believe this to be an isolated incident, as only a minimal amount of these packages has the potential to contain pieces of wood. Out of an abundance of caution, we have decided to recall all packages of Purdue Simply Smart Organics gluten-free chicken breast nuggets produced during the same product run. Wow. So Purdue says that if you have any of these packages in your home, they shouldn't be consumed, and that you can contact them directly for a refund for your purchase. Kind of a bizarre story. Look closely. If you, I don't know if it's ground up in it or if it's like
Yeah, I'm not
wood,
sure like the
but
actual details, but it's kind of very scary.
Yeah, right?
Wood contamination in your chicken
Just when you
nuggets.
thought you're getting like no gluten, but you get wood instead. I mean, it's just, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Hey, can we go back to this, the situation in prison? This whole story has been pretty fascinating. Part of it is how cool and calm he's been. He's been in here several times talking about it.
I say he already knew he was going to jail when he's been on our show and was very open about talking about it. I mean, he's known for a while. He's going to complete his 8 months and then have 2 years of supervised release. There were a couple fines, so $10,000 fine and $123,000 in restitution, but he already paid that. So now it's like he just has to do the 8 months and then he's out. He's happily married.
Let's just say this, smart to tweet out the address. He's going to get the fan mail, and that could carry you through, right?
Well, now,
I mean, you got to come up with something to do in jail. He's reading letters of adoration
fans
for
of the
fans.
Jersey Shore and of the situation now have that address that they know he's going to read the stuff. He has, but he's not doing a lot of
We were
other
talking
things.
about this out in the office with some of our editors and different people, and they were saying like, oh, it's kind of weird. He tweets out the thing, that quote from Ray Liotta, and that whole reference. Is he taking it lightly? Is he taking it serious? But I think of it as him taking it very positively. He's trying to see the positive
I mean,
part.
maybe he's making light of it a little bit, but he's trying to have a sense of humor, because at that point, you kind of do have to have a little bit of sense of humor.
And we know the guy, right? Like,
Yeah.
he's
I mean,
the
it's
kind
the
of guy.
situation.
He's entertaining and everything. Anyway, we wish him the best and all that. Can't wait to talk to him, hopefully, after his release. Andrea, more for us in Star Treks.
Yes, we are kicking off Star Trek today with a Chris Pratt and Katherine Schwarzenegger update. So, as you probably know, Chris Pratt and Katherine Schwarzenegger are engaged after just 7 months of dating. You might be asking yourself, is that too soon? But to them, the moment came at just the right time. So a source tells people this: for someone on the outside, it might seem their engagement came too quickly, but for everyone close to them, it feels like they've been dating much longer than they actually have. Now, the two hit it off in the spring of 2018 after being set up by Katherine's mother, Maria Shriver. Mom knows best. It's been a whirlwind romance since, filled with romantic dates, church outings, even New Year's Eve in Mexico with the Schwarzenegger family. Can you imagine that?
No.
That would be epic. Pratt, who used to live in the Hollywood Hills with ex-wife Anna Faris, joined Schwarzenegger in West Los Angeles. Now, he helped her move out of her home in Santa Monica, California on Friday. Now, he shared a sweet video of the day on Instagram with the caption, "I love moving." Take a look.
Yo, what's up? Chris Pratt here. Check it out. It's moving day. Boom, look at all this. The first of many loads. We got high quality cardboard boxes. The highest quality black plastic garbage bags. Like I said, I'm moving all day. And the beauty is, I'm doing it in a new truck. Booyah!
He is happy.
I mean, personally, the act of moving is very stressful, but he seems very excited about the next chapter of his life. Pratt announced his engagement on Instagram on Monday morning, captioning the post, "Sweet Katherine, so happy you said yes. I'm thrilled to be marrying you, proud to live boldly in faith with you. Here we go." A source told people Pratt kept things traditional by asking Shriver and Arnold for their daughter's hand in marriage, which I think is very sweet. I don't know if that always happens anymore, Jeremy. Did you
What?
ask?
Oh yeah, I asked. It was one of the most
Like,
awkward conversations ever.
Wait, really?
with her dad. I was driving him to the airport. I was so nervous, and then I had to wait until we got all the way to the airport. And I brought it up, and then we just like circled the airport for an hour. Because I'm just like, oh, how do I say it?
I'm glad that you did that. I think it's great.
Yeah,
I like that
right.
tradition.
Well, look, for us, and I think for them, like the families come together for this. This is like
Yeah.
very important to make sure everyone's involved and on the same page. And anyway,
Well,
good for them.
I know.
Mainly surprised that he's moving himself.
No, I
Throwing
know.
stuff in the
That's
trunk,
true.
right?
But speaking of Arnold Schwarzenegger, his son is making some headlines today. So we got a picture of his son right here.
Andrea's favorite son of the day, by the way.
This is Arnold's son, Joseph BAENA. Look at those muscles. So it was revealed back in 2011 that Arnold fathered a son back in 1997 with the housekeeper. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
But Joseph, you know, like his dad, loves bodybuilding, has aspirations of breaking into the acting biz, seems to be following in his footsteps.
He just, yeah, if he can only get a break, and if he knew someone in the biz, that would help, right?
But okay, so this picture might look familiar, this whole pose, because
Yeah,
like
no, this
father,
is
like son.
unbelievable. It's the first thing I thought when I saw it. It's like that could borderline be a picture of Arnold from, you know.
I mean,
like a
I think
throwback.
Arnold's muscles are a little bigger, but I mean, look, his son doesn't look too bad. And this is actually a photo from when Arnold won Mr. Olympia for the 6th straight time in 1971.
I could be posed exactly like that on the other side of him, and you wouldn't see me at all. I would just be fully, I would disappear, sadly.
Yeah, but all right, moving on to this one. Busted, Jessie James Decker shared a sweet moment on Instagram, but if you look in the background, you can see her son kind of spying on. She posted the
Hey, that's a snapshot. That's married life
like,
with kids,
what's
right?
going on? So she posted this with the caption, in part, sneak it in when you can. And Decker, who posted a not suitable for work photo of her hubby Eric in December, whoa, definitely knows how to keep the spark alive. So in the past, Jessie has talked about scheduling sex nights with her husband. That's what she says. She's mentioned how important it is for her and Eric to connect. This also includes spending time outside the bedroom. Jessie and Eric try to get a babysitter at least once a week so the two can go out to a bar or a restaurant, just enjoy each other's company. I imagine that one-on-one time is crucial for busy couples. Glad they can make time for each other. I mean, that's very important to have, Jeremy.
It is. And it sounds kind of crazy when you. I remember last time she was in here, we talked about the whole scheduling sex nights. But when you have kids and you're busy with work and everything else, like, look, it's a lot to take. It's a lot to, the calendar fills up. Like, hey, we are carving out some time for
Not
us.
take the fun out of it though, like just circle the
Oh
date.
no, like that's not like if it was all that it ever was. But there are times where it's like, hey, well, we're definitely doing this day and time, and then we'll fill in other times when we can. But
Secrets of married life. All right, next up,
out.
Miley shows Liam some love.
guess who got some new tats, guys?
It's all in this week's Star Trek's Roundup. Watch. Get ready to swoon.
Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth have been pretty private about their romance, but now that they're married, things seem to be changing. For his 29th birthday, she penned the sweetest Instagram message to him and really detailed a lot of the things that she loves about him,
And there's a lot.
including the lines around his eyes when he laughs, or the fact that they can communicate with one another without actually saying very much.
Okay, adorbs.
Miley ended the post by talking about how she's so proud of the man that Liam has become and how she's really happy for their future together.
A future that includes more lip-syncing moments like this one. Miley posted Liam rocking out and a throwback pic from the year the two met 10 years ago.
It's really exciting for us because, they've been together for 10 years after meeting on the set of the last song, and now we get to see this ins and outs of their relationship.
Ariana Grande is rocking some new ink.
Ariana Grande is no stranger to tattoos. She has over 20 of them. She's a huge anime fan, so she went and got the Pokemon character Eevee tattooed on her right arm. And that character in the Pokemon world represents transformation and endless opportunities.
Ariana debuted the new ink after admitting she spent hours playing the game.
Astute fans will know this isn't the only anime character Ariana has on her body. She has the lead character from the 2003 Oscar-winning film Spirited Away tattooed on her arm.
Ariana is not the only star sporting some new ink.
Michael J. Fox got a turtle tattoo. It's a sea turtle swimming through 5 rings, and he says that it represents life and himself.
It's the actor's first tat ever.
Michael's 57 years old, and it really goes to show that there's no limit to when you can try new things in life. He's totally busting down those misconceptions people have.
And to show his gratitude to the tattoo artist,
He actually gifted him a pair of mag sneakers and a hoverboard, which fans of course know from the Back to the Future film franchise.
that's got us feeling like Doc and his famous catchphrase.
Hey, Scott!
BRB going to get some new ink.
All right, guys, stay with us. We are dissecting Ariana Grande's new music video, 7 Rings, breaking that down. Plus, meet the gymnast who floored us and everyone else with her routine. She's become this viral sensation. We're talking to her coming up in a bit.
We're taking a look at our People poll. Ariana Grande dropped a brand new song last night called 7 Rings. We want to know how you really feel about buying that amount of bling, so let's check in on the results so far.
Here we go.
Ari does what she wants.
Yeah.
And more bling the better, which is kind of the same. So I feel like people are definitely on board.
Well, also, how lucky are you if you just happen to be one of her friends that was on set when or wherever she was when she got back with all the rings? Like, you get a ring, you get a ring.
I know, but what if you're that 7th friend who you like didn't make the cut? Because 6 of her friends got
right?
6 of her friends got the rings.
Yeah. Anyway, so lucky them. Guys, keep voting in our People poll, but now we move on to this. Watch.
He didn't seem to be in pain, and I think he wasn't particularly concerned, but obviously very shocked in the circumstance. It was a horrendous accident, and it's just amazing that people weren't seriously injured.
That's eyewitness Roy Warner describing the reported car accident involving Prince Philip on Thursday near his royal estate in Norfolk. So according to Roy, the 97-year-old who's married to Queen Elizabeth was seemingly uninjured and was able to walk away from the crash.
Yeah, recap in a bit here. Eyewitness accounts say that Philip overturned his Land Rover after it collided with a Kia being driven by a 28-year-old woman with her 9-month-old baby in the back seat. Obviously, a lot of potential scary possibilities here. Police say that the mother suffered cuts to her knee, while a 45-year-old passenger broke her wrist, and the baby was uninjured. Here's how the eyewitness described how Prince Philip was immediately after that crash. Watch.
He spoke to my wife, and he asked how everyone was, if anyone was hurt. He was a very old man, and he was obviously very shaken up, and he responded as you would imagine the Duke of Edinburgh would respond.
So that eyewitness, Roy Warner, was the one who helped Prince Philip out of the car. Now, he said the driver, the mother of the baby, was, obviously very upset. Now, the mom, the baby, and the passenger were treated at Queen Elizabeth Hospital, and the police released a statement.
Yeah, in that statement, they said this: as is standard procedure with injury collisions, the incident will be investigated and any appropriate action will be taken.
Now, apparently that stretch of road where this occurred had already raised safety concerns.
Yeah.
And so it was a very dangerous area.
So Prince Philip, he was taken to Sandringham House. That's where he's been staying with the Queen since before Christmas. He's 97 years old now. He's driving. Kind of brought up the topic of should he be driving, things like that, and Philip's son Prince Charles actually spoke out about this.
Well, yeah, no, so his son, who's 70, had raised concerns about this 5 years ago. He told a war veteran once, who had mentioned that his own father was driving, he was worried. The prince responded saying, "So does my father. I'm always worried about that."
Right, and as we heard earlier from a source close to the palace and of all things royals, has talked to us to people about the fact that he believes that Prince Philip would give up his driving, but he would probably do it begrudgingly if advised to do so.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that all plays out.
Yeah, we're glad that everyone is okay, obviously. All right. Now the
this.
moment
Yes.
we have all been waiting for. Ariana Grande's new single, 7 Rings. Take a look.
Wearing no ring, but ain't gonna be no misses.
That's right. The pop star proves that she doesn't need a man
Nope.
to make her happy. In her new women empowerment anthem, she just needs her friends and some bling.
Some blings and some towers of, is that champagne back there?
Yes.
I can't tell. In addition to the song dropping, she also released that music video. It features all of her best friends who actually inspired the song.
So obviously it's heavily inspired by my favorite things from The Sound of Music, which I like that. I
do
like that
too.
she brought that. It's a classic.
Yeah.
Kind of speaks to her strong friendships, new sense of independence now that she's single again.
Well, and don't forget, she had such a tough year. The death of her ex, Mac Miller, the whole whirlwind romance with Pete Davidson that got a lot of attention. So she's coming out of a lot of things as she goes into this new phase of
And
music.
I think it's great that she's putting it into her music. That could probably be very therapeutic. You got Thank You Next, now this. She even has some funny references. She talks about her hair extensions with this quote. She says, "You like my hair? Gee, thanks, just bought it."
Yeah, there's a lot of kind of like, hey, empowerment, I get what I want, or if I see it, I want it, I get it, whatever. I don't know. I'm learning the lyrics. I do take pride in knowing lyrics by heart. I will know this by Monday. Grande first opened up about the inspiration behind 7 Rings in her Billboard Woman of the Year cover story in December. A lot was revealed in this.
Yeah, she told them it was a challenging fall day in New York, so she's likely referring to her breakup with Pete Davidson. I mean, as soon as that kind of all went down, she started writing, got right back to work.
Here's some of the backstory with the rings. So Ariana and her friends featured in the video. They went to Tiffany's. She bought diamond rings for all of her friends. She explained it. She said, quote, "You know how when you're waiting at Tiffany's and they give you lots of champagne, of course course we know.
I mean, I don't know that.
She says they got us very tipsy. We bought 7 engagement rings, and when I got back to the studio, I gave everybody a friendship ring.
I mean, I don't know that from Tiffany's, but I know that from hair salons where they give you
Oh, right.
champagne, and all of a sudden you're like, yeah, we'll do that extra mask and all this stuff.
You're
and
like
then,
buying more than you ever wanted.
yes, so expensive. Anyway, she even commented on the best cameo in the video, her dog Toulouse. So she posted a picture of the pup and she captioned it, I wasn't originally supposed to be in this video, or he wasn't supposed to be in this video, but he literally wouldn't leave me the set or the shot. So there you go.
And by the way, only adds to it. You see that? It's so adorable.
I mean, Toulouse kind of follows her everywhere. He's in the Thank You Next video. Like, she features him a lot.
Yeah, for fans that are following closely, like that's the best thing ever to put little nuggets like that only fans can see.
Nice life for that dog, huh? All right, now watch this.
Give us a snapshot. What are your DMs like?
They're weird, man. They're weird.
Are they?
They're strange. People are weird, and, you know, I have a lot of younger fans as well, and so it's weird.
It's Kristen Kelly there that was filling in for you that day, Andrea. She was so great, and Jace was amazing. Does it go down in Jace Norman's DMs? I guess you'll find out in just a bit, but when the Nickelodeon star stopped by the studio to talk all about his new movie, Bachelor High Private Eye, we learned one thing is for sure: don't mess with a detective on a mission, everybody. Take a look.
I think fast, I work fast, and I move fast.
Oh, that's a lot of fast for a guy on a scooter.
So funny. Jace had a lot of fun working on the movie. It may have had to do with the fact that he also produced it, maybe. Take a look at what he said about being the brains behind Bachelor High Private Eye, which is coming out Monday, January 21st.
I actually developed it with Nickelodeon and pitched it to Nickelodeon as a producer, and so that was a really intriguing thing. You know, I've done already like a couple movies for Nick, and so you know, the year came around to do another one, and I was like, can I develop it and produce it this time? And so that was a whole new experience for me.
All right, you also may know Jace from the hit Nickelodeon show Henry Danger, of course. We couldn't let him go without playing a little game we called Do It or Danger. Watch. All right, slide into the DMs. Do it or danger.
That's a loaded question, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta do it, dude.
But there is also danger, so.
There's a lot of dangers. It's
caution.
Do it.
You could probably lose more than you gain from it, but
Like literally everything.
but you just gotta do it.
New year, new me. Do it or danger.
Dude, don't do it. Danger. That never works, dude.
What's your philosophy? Just be who you are all the time? Am I putting words in your mouth?
I mean, that's pretty accurate.
Do it or danger, karaoke.
Don't do it. Danger.
Don't do it. Don't do
Not a
it.
singer.
No, no one ever likes. Like in the moment, you're like, yeah, let's do it, and then afterwards, you're like,
Regret.
should have not done that.
And these days, it's all going to be on video, and for someone like you, it's
go.
going to be out there. So.
There you go, man.
All right, last one.
That's
Do
my
it or
favorite one.
danger. Yikes. Pimple popping.
Ooh, do it. I'm addicted.
Really?
I'm addicted. Oh, I don't watch it. I do
Okay.
it to myself,
Yeah.
though.
Great. Another person that likes pimple popping, like Jeremy.
Your least favorite thing.
All right, take a look at this now.
On Sunday night, 21-year-old UCLA gymnast Caitlin Ohashi broke the internet for the second year in a row with her second perfect 10 Michael Jackson-inspired floor routine. It was amazing.
She is incredible. We caught up with Caitlin to discuss her viral performance, which has been viewed well over 40 million times, and the one unexpected downside to being a household name.
My phone is like, I can't even get on social media, like at all. I typically would stay up to date with like DMs and like comments and stuff, and I've completely just given up on social media as a whole. Like I'll hop on for like maybe 5 seconds and then I'm like, okay, this is overwhelming. I think because people knew about the one last year, I think it helped me get some coverage for this year, and that's why maybe it happened so quick. I also got a 10 the second meet into the season, which was insane, and I think I have upped everything, including dance. We wanted to have more precise dance in this routine. So that was the first time I like competed the split double A, because I didn't do that the first meet. And once I landed that, I was like, oh my gosh, like, yes, this is the routine. Like I was just going in, having fun, like it was insane.
By the way, so that video, It was all over my feed all week this week, coming up from different sources and stuff. It just grew and grew and
No,
grew.
it's been blowing up. And like she said, she can't even get on social media right now. She's actually had her friends update her on what's going on. And also people that have been reaching out. I mean, politicians, celebrities. I've seen a lot of celebrities.
Well, California Senator Kamala Harris, a strong, obviously a woman who endorses other women quite often. Caitlyn, she gladly accepted that endorsement. Watch this.
Both female that are empowered. And so being able to have that in common with someone that's you look up to is insane. I like have seen a couple of famous people like posting me and like commenting and like mentioning me. It's just crazy because I'm like, wow, like I never would have thought that these people would ever have seen me or noticed me. Oh my gosh. My favorite was John Ralphio from Parks and Rec. That was like my favorite show. Fangirl a little bit over that.
Wow, she's competed since she was really young. If she isn't on track to be an Olympian, right? I mean,
she was on track. She had a really promising future, but then she suffered a lot of injuries, fractured back, problems with her shoulders. She started putting on weight as she grew up and had body image issues. She's been kind of open about all of this, and at times she felt totally broken.
Yeah, but you know, you look at this elite level that she's got now, this competition that she's doing, and she's going to college instead. But man, to be able to pull that kind of thing off and get that kind of response, you would hope that maybe she can, I don't know, pull it together and pursue that again.
Yeah, and I guess there's kind of that back and forth of, you know, she went off track of the Olympic train, but then kind of went at the college level. But let's be honest, collegiate gymnastics is no joke either, as we saw that routine.
So she's now a senior at UCLA. She says that she's really happy to have found her place in the world of college gymnastics, and we're happy for her too. Watch.
It makes it all worth it, you know? There's obviously times when I used to question what it was all for, because I went through a lot, and I wouldn't change a single day of my life that I've ever gone through. I think all the hard times have only made it that much better to go through the great times and see all of this on the other side. Supportive coaches that don't coach you to strictly be athletes is something that has allowed me and so many of my teammates to fully come into themselves. So not having the pressure to live up to being this athlete that's unstoppable and quote unquote perfect has allowed me to find what does give me my worth, and that I can't be defined by my gymnastics ability because I am so much more.
All right, now here's something surprising. One thing we did not expect Caitlyn to say is that she doesn't anticipate pursuing a career in gymnastics.
I know, which is crazy. Even either doing it or teaching, I don't know. But what job does she see in her future, we asked.
Definitely something away from gymnastics completely. Maybe not completely, entirely. Like I love working camps whenever I get the chance, but I'm definitely not going to, I don't think, stick around in gymnastics. I think it's time for me to blossom in other areas. I also want to, like, one of my goals is to be on Dancing with the Stars too, so that's something, hopefully.
I just have a feeling somewhere in a production room at Dancing with the Stars, they're finding her number.
She seems like one of the most talented gymnasts that I've ever witnessed.
Yeah, she's also interested in writing books, some poetry, journalism, helping victims of domestic abuse, working for women's empowerment. She's a very well-rounded person, no doubt.
Yeah, well, you can check out the whole UCLA Bruins team at their next meet, airing on the Pac-12 network. That's Monday, January 21st at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. I feel like a lot of people are going to be tuning in now that they are aware of her.
Rated, you know, televised broadcast for one of those events. And for those of you inspired by Caitlyn, her words of advice are simple. Hard work pays off, and have fun every day.
I like that.
Excuse me, sir. Hi. Could we please get some bread? Thank you.
I was handling it.
It's just bread. It's fine.
You say it's bread, but it's not bread.
Oh, goodness, is it ever really just about the bread? I don't know. Molly Ringwald plays a mother of two boys who's on the brink of a divorce in her new movie, All These Small Moments. It's funny, it's dramatic, it's got a lot of teen angst in there.
So when Molly stopped by to talk about the movie, we had to ask, does she think being a teenager is harder nowadays or back in the 80s when she played the ultimate teen icon? Take a look.
I think it's way harder now. I don't even know if I would have continued to be an actor if I had to deal with the stuff that you're required to do now. You know, just how much you have to put yourself out there. I always liked that I felt like I had a sort of normal life, And then I had my career, and the two were very distinct. And I don't know that you're allowed to do that. You're just expected to be on all the time, and that's sort of stressful.
So in the movie, Molly's character deals with a messy relationship with her husband, not so privately, but she still does her best to be a caring and pretty cool mom.
We had to ask Molly how she lets her own kids express themselves these days. Watch.
Well, my boy has shoulder-length hair, like hair longer than mine, by his choice.
Yeah.
He really likes it. I mean, it's part of who he is. He just really likes his hair. And, you know, luckily I live in a place where, you know, nobody bats an eye at that. You know, I don't know if he's gonna have long hair forever, but it's how he feels comfortable now.
Yeah, and can you really have kids, especially older kids or teenagers, without feeling totally behind on the latest technology trends? I don't know. They're up on the game. And Molly gave us the scoop on how working on set has sort of changed since her Breakfast Club days. And here's a little hint. It all has to do with the invention of the smartphone.
I think things are really different because the social media and the phones and all of that. I mean, when I was on the set with Breakfast Club, like we had to find ways to entertain ourselves that didn't involve a phone because we didn't have phones, you know. So I think that it was just a kind of a different vibe. And then when you're on a set like Riverdale, like everyone is,
yeah,
I mean,
just
not just Riverdale,
no, but
any
anyway,
set,
right. Yeah.
any set, anywhere.
Yeah, so it was great talking to her about Riverdale. She said that cast is really great, but after they're not shooting, everyone's just like waiting,
Well, that's just
stuck on their phones.
how life is right now. Everyone's always on their phones
Right, it's
on
like
the
it is
train. I
around here.
know.
All right.
We don't have our phones now, so we're bucking the system right
Let's
now.
move on to this. Just move on our phones.
You have to tell us, how did you come up with that fantastic name, Chase Dreams?
It's great.
We love that.
Well, I actually have that phrase on a decorative rock in my bathroom.
Of course you do.
But it also means, like, how it's important to chase dreams.
Wow, like literally.
My family taught me that. How you gotta live life to the fullest, because you never know when it's all gonna be over. So you just gotta chase dreams.
Sort of, right? Yeah, that's the new Comedy Central series, The Other Two, starring Molly Shannon and Case Walker. Case plays Molly's son, Chase, who embarks on newfound stardom as his two older siblings. They're trying to navigate their own ways in the world, and maybe it's not going so well.
And Case joins us now. Thank you so much for being here. I love this show. It's hilarious. And I don't like comedy.
No, she's hard to please.
Like,
Yeah, congratulations.
You
won her over.
So congrats on this. This is really cool. I feel like there must have been a lot of bust-out laughing moments doing that Kathleen Hoda scene, right?
Yes, there was. It was pretty much one of my first seasons TV, and it was just fun being with all these comedians. But there was some really funny moments, and Kathleen and Hoda obviously do all their live shows, and so they improv a little bit sometimes, and you just laugh so hard. It was super funny.
We were talking before. It's so cool because they reached out to you. This is your first time ever doing anything in TV.
Yes, yes.
I mean, were you nervous going to set?
I was really nervous. Well, the auditions were probably the most nervous part because I had this I had this idea that they were like these scary big things, and I went in. They were all nice, and then it kind of kept going, and I was like, oh, I can do this, you know, and kind of got the vibe of it. So
I love it. Well, look, there's some similarities in some ways to your character, right? You're making music videos and doing things on the internet, that catching the eye of casting people and landing a role, like we just said.
Yep.
By the way, you just need to spend a couple years living in your car just so you have the gritty actor story, okay? I know, because you were just plucked into stardom. But what kinds of comparisons do you love about this character that are real to your actual life?
Some of the comparisons, I guess, Chase kind of has an innocence, and Case, I mean, I understand the business a little bit more than him, but some similarities. It's honestly,
like he's sort of naive?
It's honestly kind of hard. Yeah, he's very naive. He's very green in the business. And it's kind of hard to find some similarities, but we have like similar terms we say. I mean, he's a singer, I'm a singer, we're both musicians. But it's honestly, we're so similar but so different, so it's kind of like hard to find specific differences.
Yeah. You're a seasoned pro now.
Yeah,
so.
that's right.
You could say
He knows the gritty world out there.
Chase is
I'm learning.
Well, Chase is kind of like a Bieber-like rising star.
Yep.
Did you model him after somebody?
There's definitely different parts of people pulled, like from social media people. Justin Bieber, of course, kind of his whole singing path, but it's a little bit of an overdramatic version of all that. But it's definitely similar to kind of the path I want to take in the music industry, not necessarily, of course, as naive and all the funny things that happen, but I'm a musician as well, and so I would love to. It was cool playing out that, you know, doing concerts and as Chase and music videos. So.
Molly Shannon's so funny, and then that clip, she's so funny. The hair, the whole look, and just her earnestness with the most ridiculous things makes it so hilarious. I would have. Is she one that will just sort of break character or just fly off on a rabbit trail of improv?
Well, they're all experienced comedians, so. All the improv is just amazing. You don't even know if it's part of the script. There were so many funny moments. Molly, we were in Times Square actually filming one of the scenes for the show, and after the scene, people would walk in the scene because we didn't have it just completely roped off. So people would walk in the scene, try to take a picture. And there was one point where she was like dancing around in a video for one of her fans that walked in, and like she was just having the best time of her life. So it's super fun.
That's amazing. There's a lot of other actors coming on as guest stars throughout the series. So you got SNL's Michael Che, Beck Bennett, Andy Cohen, Wanda Sykes, Ken Marino, who plays your like crazy eccentric manager, which is really hilarious. Anyone in particular that you really bonded with or were so excited to work with?
On set, well, since Ken plays Streeter, who's Chase's manager, I kind of had a cool bond with him, and we passed around a lot of jokes on set. I learned some things from him, like simple things like fake tripping. I've always been a trickster in my family, and he's just like really good at fake tripping, sneezing. He can make a Chewbacca noise. So we kind of had bonding with, he just taught me a bunch of fun stuff, and then his jokes are hilarious. He jokes about everything, so probably Ken, yes.
Fake tripping, I like it. That's like when you do your fake walking into a wall.
Which is hilarious, obviously. But okay, you're climbing up the Hollywood ladder. Here's the transition for you. You also like actual rock climbing.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Finding out more about you. Have you done it competitively?
I've competed a little bit competitively, done some competitions.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Real deal.
Oh, you got the video?
Yeah, how'd you get into it?
That's from, my big brother is actually a professional rock climber. His name is Jess Walker, and he has been doing it for a long time, and so I kind of got into it, and I've always been an athlete, so I was like, oh, this is an interesting sport I can check out and I can relate to my big brother with.
Are you harnessed in, or are you just going?
No, that's bouldering, so that was a pretty long boulder. It was pretty high. It was kind of in a crevice. It's called Autobot. It's out in Rocky Mountain National Park.
That's really incredible.
That's pretty intense. Very impressive.
Yeah, thank you.
So you mentioned your brother. You also have a twin in real life,
yes,
which is
we might be talking to the twin right now. We don't know.
Yeah. What do you love about being a twin, and how are you guys most different?
Cole and I, we have like a really, really cool relationship. So I love the fact that we, no matter how far we are apart or the time we spend away from each other, we come back and we're homies, and we just get to do the funniest stuff together and make the funniest jokes. I don't know, everything about being a twin is awesome. Obviously there's fighting as well, because we were together a lot, but actually being away, because he lives in Colorado more time and I'm in LA, kind of helps us when we are together, because we haven't been together so much, like really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
And maybe even like living apart, maybe you change and like grow into
and we're different because
people,
we don't do everything together. Yeah, but
should we play this game? You ready?
Yes.
We want to play a little game called Just in Case, because it's playing off your name, and just in case people want to know more about you and need to know more about you. So we're going to play a little game of either or. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready for it.
All right.
It's not too complicated. Starting with our first question. So this week on the show, we were asking people if they prefer cheese or chocolate, because there's these cheese boxes instead of chocolate for Valentine's Day from Aldi. Which do you prefer? Cheese or chocolate?
You know, I have to go with chocolate, just from, I love cheese too. I love like cheese plates and stuff. This is, I'm gonna go with cheese now.
Yes, that's what I'm talking
about. Because I've eaten like too much chocolate. Like I can eat a lot of cheese with crackers, but like too much chocolate is a little bit too sweet for me sometimes.
Yeah.
Agree to disagree.
That's interesting though, cheese for Valentine's.
Just in case you didn't know, here we go. Beach or mountains?
Beach or mountains? Oh, that's a hard one because I live in Colorado and LA.
Right.
I don't know, rock climbing's a mountain sport, but I don't ski a bunch. I don't do a lot of skiing and snowboarding, so I'd have to say the beach right now, but once I get more familiar with it, I'll probably be like mountains.
Those pictures right now are so magical.
Yes.
All right, Los Angeles or New York?
Los Angeles or New York. They both have their pros and cons, you know, they're both busy and awesome. I'd go with New York, just because it's very interesting. It's kind of got a cool environment. You know, you feel like you're on the grind when you're, or not that you feel on the grind when you're in LA, but the energy's different in both places.
Halloween or Christmas?
Halloween or Christmas. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I love the smells of Christmas and the pine cones and kind of the music.
Yeah, right. It's awesome.
All right, we talked about your character on the show being Bieber-esque, so we gotta ask, Selena or Haley?
Selena or Haley? Oh, man.
Spot.
I've been following Justin for a long time, and I really respect him a lot. I mean, I've been a huge fan for a long time.
So now that you've disclaimed it, who is it?
Yes. Haley.
Haley!
We're gonna go with Haley.
We love them both. We love them both. To be clear, but for him, you know, Haley seems like it's working out. Yeah.
All right, Case, hey, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
It's so good to talk to you. Congrats on everything. You can see more of Case on Comedy Central's new series, The Other Two. It premieres Thursday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern.
All right, guys, moving on now to all the other TV, movies, and a musical you need to check out in this week's People Picks Roundup.
We're not meant to have this much power.
Finally, all of us together for the world to see what we are capable of.
You need to get out of here.
Oh man, filmmaker M. Night Shyamalan is back with Glass, and he's topping off one of the weirdest, twistiest, most explosive trilogies ever.
So our friends at Entertainment Weekly caught up with the cast, but when they asked Jackson what we can expect, well, he wasn't quite sure how to answer without giving away any secrets.
We're there. It's great to be together again.
We will begin this century making a range of shoes for a range of men.
The smash hit musical Kinky Boots may be in its 6th year on Broadway, but it's still spicing up the Great White Way through April.
In a surprise twist, former New York Giants running back Tiki Barber is trading in football cleats for that pair of fierce boots in a 6-week run.
Now, he may be a Broadway newbie, but he's got 10 years of experience on a pro football field, so we had to ask him about the Super Bowl halftime show controversy.
With Travis Scott there, it's an unbelievable gesture that the NFL cares, and I think they do care. It's just a matter of how it's being presented. And Maroon 5, I absolutely love. They're my go-to karaoke song.
This right here is Saul's worst nightmare. Oh, Saul's small. My, good, right? I've never felt this way before.
The girls are back and better than ever. Grace and Frankie are fighting to get their beloved beach club back and prove to their kids that despite their age, they don't need anyone's help in life except maybe each other.
Now, Lily Tomlin made headlines this week for a different reason. Lily told Ellen DeGeneres she once turned down a Time magazine cover because they wanted her to use the platform to come out.
You weren't ready. You didn't want to do it yet.
No, well, and I wanted to be acknowledged for my performance.
Right, sure.
But I can see in retrospect that was hardly worth it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, moving on to this, some developing breaking news here. Another woman has come forward to accuse R. Kelly of sexual abuse in the wake of the bombshell Lifetime docuseries Surviving R. Kelly. Tracy Sampson spoke to NBC News' Dateline about a relationship she says that she had with the R&B star beginning when she was a 16-year-old intern at Epic Records. That was in 1999. And in a preview clip for the interview that airs Friday night, she says, quote, "I was in love with him. I just didn't know what to do."
Now, she recalls one alleged incident in which Kelly asked to kiss her, a request she says she refused. She says this, quote, "He's like, okay, well, give me a hug. And then when I gave him a hug, he just started kissing me." She continued saying, "I didn't know if this was normal. I didn't know if this is how adults acted. Like, I just didn't know. I didn't know."
Yeah, Sampson claims that she ended the relationship with Kelly when she turned 18, accusing him of sexual abuse. Kelly's attorney, Steve Greenberg, also appeared on the program and affirmed that the singer believes that every one of his accusers is lying.
Now, Sampson's claims come on the heels of R. Kelly's former manager, Henry James Mason, surrendering to authorities in Georgia, according to CNN. Mason allegedly threatened the father of Joycelyn Savage, who is one of the women that was featured in the Lifetime docuseries Surviving R. Kelly.
Mason was wanted on an outstanding warrant from the summer, and that's according to the Henry County Sheriff's Office. And that alleged incident took place in May 2018. Timothy Savage claims his daughter is being held against her will by R. Kelly. It's alleged that Mason had threatened him for speaking out about it.
Now, in an incident report obtained by CNN, Savage alleges that Mason said, quote, "I'm going to do harm to you and your family. When I see you, I'm going to get you. I'm going to bleeping kill you." A magistrate judge issued a warrant in July citing, quote, "terroristic threats and acts."
TMZ reports Mason has since been released on $10,000 bond.
Now, all of this is amid a lot of buzz surrounding the doc Surviving R. Kelly. It's a 3-part Lifetime documentary. It features interviews with many of Kelly's accusers. Now, many allegations date back to the early 90s, some involving minors like this new accuser.
Yeah, that's something that we've been talking quite a bit about. And if you or someone that you know think that they're being abused, you can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at the number we had on the screen there below. All right, coming up next week, guys, we have a Riverdale star talking all about this season's crazy drama and plenty more that's coming up.
So excited for that. Plus, Marcia Gay Harden is stopping by to fill us in on her spine-chilling new movie, Love You Death. Very excited for that. Be sure to tune in. Thanks for watching. And for now, we leave you with one last thing from Alice Eve. Have a great weekend.
Bye, guys.
I'm Alice Eve, and this is One Last Thing. So the last song I had stuck in my head was Thank You Next, because every time it plays, that's all I sing all day. The last thing I splurged on was this lovely hooded dress from Maggie Marilyn, which is I love. And the last show I binged watched was the very sexual show Sally Forever on HBO.
It's just I'm with someone.
You in love with her?
It's a him.
Which is intense.